gosh, this is big. And so I've just decided to stop everything before I get in the shower and just record this and not wait till I'm ready or whatever. You can't do the job if you don't know the job description or what the job entails or what you're supposed to be doing in the job. When you get a job, when you go for an interview, when you look at a position, it will just give you a position description. And it will give you a rough rundown of the things that you have to do if you take this position, if you get this position, if you interview and win the position. This is what you will be doing. And quite often it's just a sort of a summary, but it gives you an idea of what that is, what they'll be expecting of you, and what from that you can deduce what skills that you'll need to do to be able the skills that you'll need to have to be able to do that job, well, to be able to do and give to that job what is required. Now, I'm not going to go and put in for a job as a vet if I'm a barista. I'm not going to go and put in for a job as a managing director of something if I haven't even been in the industry or even, do you know what I mean? There are some things that are just so far out of the realm of possibility at that particular moment in time that you just wouldn't even do it. So we come into life, right? We don't have a job description. We don't have an idea of what we're here to do, of what our specific things are here to do. We don't come in with that. We come in with it, but the job of life is to discover that along the way, discover what we're good at, what we're passionate about, what we love, what we don't love, where we can gain the skills, and when we've got the skills enough in that particular thing to move on and gain skills somewhere else, or use those skills we've gained there to go into something that's more aligned with us along the way, right? So I've had lots of jobs as a 54-year-old woman. I've had lots of things. I worked different jobs I mostly stayed home with my kids. Well, I had 4 kids, but I did lots of different things. And they were all, a majority of my life was in banking. Everything's been customer service bar probably one job. And I've done all sorts of things from radio advertising, to being in a motel, in all aspects of the motel, from the cleaning the rooms to the checking in the people to, running the restaurant end of things, on a nightly basis, to being in the kitchen, all sorts of things, right? I've sold Party Plan. I have worked in a pizza shop. I've delivered pizzas. I've done Uber Eats. I've done, rattle off all the stuff. To now come to the point where I realise all the different gifts that I got from those different jobs were all leading me to a purpose of activating people. It was giving me experience speaking. It was giving me experience getting to know what the customer wanted, right? Party Plan particularly, that, people think, oh yeah, Party Plan. There was a lot to that. There was a lot of training that went into that. Marketing, and in the radio as well, marketing is it's a psychological thing. There are, factors and ways that we get sold to, that we get sucked into things, that we get, that a need is placed in us that we didn't have previous to hearing that ad or seeing that thing or whatever. It's not it's huge. Selling advertising, I had to go out to clients and I had to listen to what they said, and I had to be able to deduce what we had in our catalogue of things I could offer that would suit that person best, And the more that you can service those customers and give them what they want first time round, the more ongoing sales and the more ongoing things you will have with them, the better it is. So there was so much intuition involved in so many things that I did. And there was so much skill of learning to be able to read a room. There was so much skill in being able to work out what people were after, what they were saying without saying it. I sat on a lot of committees and I was president of a couple of different committees. And it was so interesting to see that the energy in the room of some of those meetings and what was being said were not the same. What people would hold back in that room, in that meeting, in that place, and come to you on the quiet and say, I'm coming to you with this because that was not whatever. We come in with a blank sheet that is almost like it's been filled in with magic marker, right? And you have to uncover it as you grow, as you go, as you get the skills. You will gradually get the ability to be able to uncover what was written on that when you came in, before you were born, what you agreed to, right? I know this is getting a little bit out there and a little bit whatever, but I truly believe these things. We come in with a purpose, which is a big, wide thing, and it's got a genre. It's got a I don't know. It's got a big thing, but within that there are branches of different things, and at different times in your life you're going to step into different ways to share your passion, share your gift with people in a way that's going to impact the world and cause ripple effects to then go on to help other people, right? So I think, like, I'm a nurturer, I'm an activator, and so all the skills that I've gained over the first 40 years of my life, right back into when I was a kid, when I used to dance, when I used to sing, when I used to, when I got bullied in the playground, all the different things, right, have all come together to uncover this massive blueprint that I came in with, this massive list of things, this massive list of stuff. So now I've got all the skills. Not only do I see the paper now and see the things, I now have a bunch of skills with which I can move forward in the world and share my nurturingness and activate people and know how people need to be activated or what they need to hear to activate them, because my intuition tells me. So all of those little skills have married together like a piece of the puzzle. And I see us all in the world as a big puzzle that needs to be put together, but we're all individual puzzles within that puzzle, right? And the more of our puzzle we can get together, the more space we can take up. We have a big space in that puzzle, and I'm doing it in a square. I don't know why that's coming in a square, but we have a big space in the puzzle. And if we are being small and not doing what we're meant to be doing, we'll never fill that space. That space is there for us to fill, right? We're not going to run out of room if we take up space. And those other people who get triggered by us taking up space or by us speaking stuff like I'm just speaking now, this is going to set a lot of people off. It's going to trigger people. There are going to be people who know me that are like, you have seriously lost the plot. And I'm happy for that. If they think you're crazy, they leave you alone. Wise words from a man I heard a few days ago. If you act crazy, if people think that you're crazy, they get away because they don't want to catch the crazy. But the people that are already crazy, they get it, right? And so people who are getting triggered are the people who are closing themselves in, that are not wanting to open up to their gifts, that are not wanting to. By you taking up space, you are gradually activating them. And if they see enough people taking space and taking chances and stepping into things that, you take the step and you don't even know what you're stepping into, but you're willing to take that step because you're being called to, and then you'll just stand there and see what's around before you take the next step, right? Enough people, if they see enough people like that, that's going to activate that first step in them, just like you were activated by the things that you've done in your life. Gosh, I hope this makes sense. These are beautiful things that are coming in, and we need these skills to get through the next 5 years and beyond, to build the new world, to build, everyone wants this new, and everyone knows that things aren't working out in life. Life is sucky because you can't this and you can't that and all the things that are happening in the world, but everybody wants somebody else to go first, right? But then when people go first, people point and criticize and whatever, and I don't get that. But you've got to learn to stand. Barking dogs are going to bark. Are you going to stop and settle them down, or are you going to keep walking in what you know is your true purpose and do what you are truly here to do? Activating people is a triggering thing, right? And some people that you activate, you're going to trigger the shit out of, and they are going to think, I don't like you. Oh my gosh, who does she think she is? Whatever. That's just part of them shaking in whatever that they need to shake and break, So it's not about you, it's about them. How you handle it, though, is about you. You're going to stop and are you going to pull yourself back so that they aren't triggered anymore? Are you going to keep going because this is your job, right? Birthing the new of anything is big, it's massive, right? And it requires some shaking ground, and it requires some bombs to go off, metaphorically, and it requires some 180-degree changes in attitude for you to open up, right? And so activators in the world are going to do that to you. They are going to do all sorts of things. I can remember some of the people who have made the biggest changes in my life I didn't like to start with, because they were reflecting back to me some aspects of me that I needed to work on. And they turned out to be the biggest contributors in my life. Some of them don't realise, some of them do. they became the catalyst for me to stand up and grow and move to the next level, to the next size, to the next thing. And they are the whole reason I am here today, how I am. I wanted to share that with you. Change doesn't look like we think it's going to look, because it's a change, right? It's a change. It's different. We fear change, and we fear changing, and we fear people changing in front of us, because sometimes somebody changing and somebody reaching outside the square or the box, sometimes somebody filling up space, taking up more space, reminds us of all the ways we aren't doing that, and it's scary. But lean in. Look at if things are triggering you. Why is that triggering me? What is that telling me that I need to work on? The triggers are the biggest keys to unlock all of those locks, to help you fill your puzzle that then is going to fill the world puzzle that is then going to make the changes stick in the future to bring us that beautiful new world that we all want. I love you. I love spending time with you. I love sharing the word. I love triggering people. Sorry. I said it. If that's what's happening within you, that's cool. Like I said, look at that, go and work on it. We've got jobs to do, people. We need to stand up now and fill that puzzle of ours so that we can fill the full puzzle. Okay, love you.